Alrighty, so my Arctic Rescue Challenge has come to an end, and there are lots of really great submissions. So let's just do a little overview of the rules real quick. So the goal of this challenge is to construct a general rescue vehicle capable of overseeing rescues in harsh Arctic conditions. It is meant to be a land vehicle, so it must function primarily on land, meaning it can also be like boats, submarines. So I was really trying not to limit anybody on this challenge as much, which is always nice to have. Requirements: it must be spawned at Terminal Trinit. Must cost less than $90,000. Must be powered by diesel. Diesel electrics are fine. Must be able to function without infinite fuel or electricity. Must be able to hold 4 passengers. And must be fitted with some rescue gear, etc. Must only use wheels or tracks. I did add skis to that list. Each person gets 1 submission. No already started builds. Yeah. So you have to have a nice little workshop page to get full points. So you have to have a nice thumbnail, good selection photos, and enough info to where I think some effort went into it. Not too much that I have to spend 30 minutes reading. Glitches and XML are fine, so most things are on the table. Disqualifications: if it cannot be spawned at Terminal Trinit, exceeds the max cost. Grading: you'll get 1 to 10 on the workshop page, 1 to 10 on general looks, and how well does it operate. So let's go and actually try it out. Here's our first build, the Lamb Tardigrado, Stormlight compatible. Nice little thumbnail there. Let's see, let's go back to the start of the photos. Some nice photos here of the construction of the vehicle. There we go. Oh, nice. It looks like it can go underwater. Nice. So good. Lots of photos here showing all of its different uses. Rejected, nice. Showing all the old designs. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's by Discarding Sabot. Nice little photo here. The overview: the Lamb Tardigrado, half track with tracks forward, made for exploring the hostile environment. Maybe it's just a combine harvester that lost its way. Named after the tardigrade or water bear, nature's champion of resilience, a small creature that thrives in extreme conditions. I'm guessing that's supposed to be thanks to its ability to rapidly exchange body water for sugar. Tardigrades, are often found in small pools in Antarctica, where they thrive. That's interesting. I'd never heard of them. The Tardigrado is on the smaller and cheaper side, available for $29,000 and change. Thanks to its airtight cabin and air tanks in the engine bay, it has limited water crawling capabilities. Windscreen is sloped forward to prevent snow buildup. Crew references: operations, let's see. Open either hatch on the side. The yellow "Find Me in the Dark" lights will be flashing just on top. Let's see. Get inside. We got air, PM, temperature, a bunch of good little, I like these little kind of maps on it, so it actually shows you where all the things are. Let's see. Jump in the driver's seat. So we'll read all of that whenever we are in. Or it shouldn't be too bad. We'll see. If I get stuck, we'll read through it. Let's see, jump in the driver's seat, just press 1. So we'll read this whenever we get in. Advanced underwater crawling. So it looks like we can pretty much just kind of turn the air on, add some trim if we need it for best results, so 50 to 60%. And use low range. So let's see, is there much else? Flipping upright. We'll see if we need to flip upright or not. But it looks like there's 2 keys to there. Electrical management. So it looks like those are in case of emergency, maybe. We got a bunch of equipment here and a bunch of features, so I'm not going to read through all of those, just so we can get to the build now. Alrighty, here we are with Yield Lamb. We got the suspension around back because the tracks can't take any impact at all, which is not great. Let's see. Don't know what that says. Hopefully it's something appropriate. My YouTube doesn't get shut down. We got fuel in liters. Yeah, looks like there's not too much around on the outside, so let's go ahead and try and get inside. Let's see. There's a seat. There's one. Let's go ahead and close that door. We got our emergency breakers there, I believe. Oh, we got our engine bay. That's neat. Oh, we got a big engine in there. Okay. Not sure if those are on a timer or what. We got tank pressure and tank pressure. I'm guessing that is for our air whenever we are underwater. So we will go ahead and take this thing underwater just to see where it's got. We got quite a bit of equipment up here. We do have some machine guns. We got a little bit of first aid stuff. Oh no, that's just a flare. There we go. We got a bit more first aid equipment back there. We got the driver and our navigator. So we got interior lights. We'll get those on. Actually, let me go and make sure my settings are off. We'll get infinite fuel and electricity off. We do have our thermostat. I've got some Arctic clothing, so that will be fine. We'll go ahead and flip our ignition. There goes that big 5x5. We'll get the volume. Oh, my game volume is quite low right now. Alrighty, so we got our RPM, we got our cylinder temperature, and we got our speed in kilometers. We've got our push to talk on our space. Position lights are 2. Not quite sure where those are. Oh, there they are, up front. We got our headlights are 3 and spotlights are 4. There we go. So let's go ahead and give this thing a little drive. We gotta go our up down to select our gear as well. So we've got drive, park. Oh. Okay, so that engine is very high for being a 3x3. And it feels like I can't tell. I think that you have to manually... No, you don't. It's got automatic, but it waits super long before switching. So I think a little bit more work on that gearbox, because you should be able to get that 3x3 to next to nothing. Like, you should be able to run that thing at like 4 RPS right now. And it won't scream at you, which would be nice. Let's see. So it drives really nicely, though. The steering's set up really good. Let's turn this way down now. Just because that is a little bit loud. We are up to 50 kilometers right now. Where is this water? There you are. There's our exhaust. So let's go ahead and put this thing in the water and see how it does. Okay, so let's go right there. Let's see. I forget if we have... Right, we have our air reserve. So I believe that's what we have to turn on. The acceleration's a little bit slow, especially with the engine running so high. It feels like we should be able to get moving pretty quick here. Alright, so let's put it into low range. Let's go ahead and get our air on. And he said we could trim it down to like 50 or 60, so let's go ahead and try that. So let's see how this does underwater. So far it's doing pretty good. We are nosing up a touch, which did say we would do. We've got a lot of weight there. So we can just put the brakes on if we start to do that. And it works out quite well. So let's go ahead and add some more trim in here. We'll go to 60. Yeah, so it does really like to nose down. It could be nice just to even put some fins or something on there just to kind of hold it down if you're in the water. Oh, I can't see much. But yeah, so it could be nice just to have it not nose up a bit. So let's go ahead and try and make our way back up onto land. I'm not dying or anything. Let's see. So I believe we should be good for the air. That nose up is a little bit annoying. I've got it trimmed up to 65. Which is good because it gets our throttle up. But let's go ahead and lower that to 0. Oh, I just had it. There we go. And let's try and make it up this little hill here. Yeah, engine is definitely revving a little bit high for me. Come on. There we go. Oh. Almost there. Come on. Yeah, I would do a bit more work on that gearbox. It just feels like the acceleration's way too slow for what it's packing, pretty much. It's got a really big engine. It screams quite high. We're at 1300 RPM. That's very high for a 3x3. Where is our fuel? Do we have fuel here? Let's go ahead and come to a stop. Let's see, cylinder temperature, we're staying cool because we're up north, I bet, and oh, that's our battery. Fuel, we're probably not going to go through it too quick, but we are running quite high, so it wouldn't be surprising. Let's see, we do have park in reverse as well. There goes our fuel. Yeah, not too bad on fuel. But I would definitely lower that RPS on the engine quite a bit, because that really is screaming at you a bit. But yeah, so we'll finish it there. Really nice build. I do think a little bit more work on the gearbox, and this thing would be great. Alrighty, here is our next contestant. This is the Rooster. We'll just call it the Snow Fatty, like he has here, because that is a very long name. Really nice little thumbnail here. And as you can see, this one is by Chicken Soar. So let's go back to the start. So this looks really cool. Let's see. Nice little selection of photos here. You got a nice little interior, I'm guessing, on the back there. It's got a winch as well. Nice. You can see it winching people up from like a bridge. Yeah, so this looks really cool. So let's see. Really nice looking workshop page here. Rock Performance first. Rooster's heavy duty articulating Caterpillar Arctic rescue vehicle. That HDACIRV, affectionately known as the Snow Fatty, able to brave some of the harshest conditions and the most challenging terrain while conducting technical rescue operations. Specifications: quad track articulating frame with a powerful supercharged 20-cylinder. Top speed is about 60 kilometers an hour. Equipped with rescue gear, including a high-angle rescue crane and 2 recovery winches. The back features a complete ambulance with a high-range radio. Operations, I've already read this, so we'll just get in it and try driving. Other minor quirks and features. So we got heaters, open ambulance compartment by grabbing the handles. Scene lights can be turned on via the center console. There are steps integrated into the suspension to get access to the driver's cabin and rear ladder. While steering with the parking brake on, the front brakes will release to make it possible to steer. There is Arctic gear under the medical bed. Rollover risk becomes significant, around 45 degrees of roll angle. While operating in extreme conditions, take your time and go slow. Hopefully everything else I didn't outline is easy enough to figure out. If not, leave a comment. Thanks for reading. Rooster Utility Company. Built for my challenge. Awesome. So this looks like a really cool build, so let's go and check it out. Alrighty, so here it is. This looks really nice. A lot of good looking details in here. I love those headlights. All the details in here look really nice. We got some little suspension there. So let's just do our little walk around here. Yeah, a lot of really good details here with this logo and everything there. There's our little step. Really cool little connection here so we can pivot everywhere. I'm looking forward to seeing how that all works. We got our equipment locker in here. Nice. So we got some crane attachment, it looks like, and some cables. So we do have our crane up there. We'll check that out whenever we leave the actual hangar. A lot of good little details in here, just the little lockers and things like that, even labeling them. That's always really nice to see some good little lights here. What do we have here? We have our winches back there, and we have our doors, which we can use with the new handles, which was a great little update. So we can climb on in here. We got some Arctic gear. I really like having the ambulance kind of back in here. This was a cool idea of doing like 2 different kind of vehicles in a trailer. So we can come in here. We can go ahead and close these doors up. And we have a nice little cabin in here with some good little details, even labeling everything, so that's really nice to see. Every little cabinet here is labeled, so that's really cool to see. Let's see, we got some nice seating in here with the XML back. We even got like little wires and such. We do have lights, a heater, trailer dedicated battery, the disconnect, more cabinets, all of that fun stuff. We do have the front radio for the winches, the crane radio, and the rear winch radio. So that's really cool. So we can enable that all in here. And I'd definitely say we have enough equipment in here along with another radio. Let's go ahead and actually get out and drive this thing. So we'll open up the doors. More nice detailing up here. We got our little fire extinguisher with more cabinets or lockers. Once again, another stair there. So we will go ahead and climb up here. There we go. Really easy to get up onto, so we can open that up and crawl on in and close it right up again. Yeah, so this looks really nice. Really good amount of details in here. I do like the coloring as well. So let's see. We do have a nice little glove box there. We do have enable transponder, heater, cabin lights, ELS. Look at that. Nice little selection of lights up there. That all looks really well done. We do have a siren. We do have backup battery and main battery disconnect, along with a couple of dials for our batteries and fuel up there. So we have our left scene light, right scene light, rear and rear right. There we go. So let's go ahead and turn on the ignition right here. We do have our parking brake and our gear, so we do have a manual transmission, which I like. We have our horn. We do have headlights. I really do like how those headlights turned out. Those look really well done. So let's go and actually get driving. RPS is definitely jumping a bit. So we'll keep going. That connection for the trailer looks like it works really well. RPS is leveling out nicely here while we're up a little bit higher in the gears. So let's see, what are we at? We're at about 50 kilometers an hour right now. Turns really nice with that trailer on the back. It feels like I still have complete control and I'm not limited at all, which is really nice. Yeah, so this thing drives really nice. So let's go ahead and bring it off-road just a touch up here. We'll leave it in whatever gear I'm in right now. Third, I don't want to be going super fast up here. We do quite go quick. We do go quite quick here. Uh-oh. There we go. Let's just double check that I have everything off. I do not, so I had infinite electric on still from testing earlier. Yeah, so this thing handles really nice. That connection in the middle was a really good idea. That works really nicely. So let's go ahead and actually stop it right here. Parking brake is 1, so there's our parking brake. Let's go ahead and turn it off, and let's go and play around with the crane. Where's the handle? There it is. So I think that's all in here. So this looks really cool here. So we have our ladder right here. So we can climb on up. Crane operator station. Look at that. So we actually have a little handle here on top of the entire trailer, which is pretty cool. So we can do crane signal, release harness, 6, and let's see, yeah, that's release. So let's see. There we go. So that's really cool. So it looks like we can just go left and right. There's no up and down. And we can change the height and how low they are from here. There's also a red harness there, so I'm guessing that you can control it in there as well, which is nice to have always. But this is a really cool idea. I like having the little rescue harness and winch. That really just adds to the amount of things this can be used for. We'll go ahead and turn on 6, and there we go. So super easy to store. It goes right there, and then boom, and we're done. So that's a really cool system. It's really easy to use, and there's a lot of utility in it, which is really nice. So I could definitely see myself doing a lot of missions in this quite easily. So we'll go ahead and go down this little hill. And we shall make our way back. Yeah, that connector for the trailer worked out really well because it keeps it angled kind of with it, but you don't feel like you're kind of losing control or like it's twisting away, which is really nice. It feels like it's part of the vehicle still. So I really enjoy that part. And here we are in our last gear. We have 5 gears and we are at about 55 kilometers an hour. It is kilometers. Yeah, it is kilometers. So we'll go ahead and drive back. And yeah, it drives really well. It feels like the steering is just a little bit slow whenever we get up to a little bit higher speeds, but it operates. It's so like intuitive. Everything works exactly how I hope it does. We got our brake lights with the little spotlights behind it. Yeah, so that's a really nice little build. It's really clean and tidy. It operates really nice. Yeah. So really great build, and thanks for submitting. Alrighty, here we are with our next build. This is the Ski Fox Off-Road Arctic Vehicle. Nice little thumbnail there. I like all the coloring with that. That looks pretty neat. This build is by Northern Goose. We got some nice photos kind of going with the same style. That's always neat. This looks like a Ski-Doo, but a little bit bigger, so that's kind of cool. I do love all the reds and stuff in that photo. That looks pretty nice, actually. It looks like it should be a puzzle. Yeah, so let's go ahead and subscribe to this. The Ski Fox is a small, lightweight, and cheap off-road vehicle designed for rescue and transport in the Arctic. Specs: engine is a supercharged 9-cylinder cooled with a radiator. Transmission is a 3-speed with a high and low range. High range by default. Max speed of about 46 kilometers per hour. Max fuel is 134 liters. It seats 4 and it costs $5,598. How to use, so we'll figure that out, but that doesn't look too complicated. A little bit simpler on the workshop, but not bad. It definitely gets all the information I need, and there's obviously not a ton of information all the time on these vehicles, so let's go and actually check this build out. Alrighty, so here we have it, the Ski Fox. So definitely a little bit more basic on the design, but I think that was probably on purpose. We got a little connector back there, so I'm sure there's some trailers or stuff in future planning. We got all of our seats back here. We got a bit of emergency equipment, which is good. Yeah, not as much to go over on this build just because it is a little bit more simple. Like we have a tank there. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be doing something or not. It looks like it is probably not. So let's go ahead and jump on in, and we got some nice little things here. Speed, fuel, temperature, RPM, and low range, and current gear. So let's go ahead and flip on the engine, which is 5. We do have some lights here. I'm not sure if we have different modes or not. Nope, looks like we just have on and off. We have our low and high, so we'll go ahead and stay on high for now. We can gear up. I'm not quite sure if the parking brake starts. No, okay, so the parking brake starts off. And we can go ahead and make our way out. Seems like a pretty good little transmission here. I think it's a 3-speed, yeah. Steer is really nice for the skis. I'm not sure if you're using the clutches for that as well, but I always have a pain trying to get these skis to steer right. Let's go and actually try this thing off-road a bit. Let's go ahead and gear down. There we go. Get back up to speed here, and we'll take it off a little bit. Seems to operate quite well. The suspension in the back's doing pretty good. It's taking a lot of the impact, which is nice. So we are a bit rigid on the front with the skis sometimes. Yeah, it operates really nicely. Let's see, where's our fuel at again? Yeah, so it seems quite good on fuel as well. Pretty big engine in there. But these tracks and everything require quite a lot of torque. So I'm sure it would be a bad idea to go any smaller. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's try and make it up this hill real quick. Yeah, so more than enough power. Definitely capable of doing rescue missions up here. Yeah, let's go ahead and try brakes real quick. Brakes feel a little bit slow. I'm not sure if you're just cutting the clutch power or what. But it might be nice to have the parking brake turn on after a bit or something like that. There's a bunch of ways to do brakes for tracks. But yeah, so I would definitely work on those brakes just a little bit, getting it so you can actually stop without just using the momentum, because it is a little bit of a lighter craft. Yeah, that rear suspension's doing great. Overall, really great build, and yeah, thanks for submitting. Alrighty, here's our next build. This is the Weird Thing. This is by Dargino. Very basic here in the workshop. We don't have any photos or anything like that. Good little thumbnail though. It does have the frame. Let's see. No time to write up a proper workshop page. Also, I never named it properly. So definitely a little bit half finished here for the workshop page. We have controls, so we'll figure that out whenever we are there. To get it out of the train depot, carefully maneuver it through the bollards before activating the wide and lift buttons. Ooh. The powertrain is diesel electric, so the engine should be activated when possible. The stabilizer works best at low speed. Avoid using the sport mode and stabilizer together if possible. Also, there is a lift in the back for quick access to the medical room, so let's go and check this build out. Alrighty, so here we have it. This is definitely a different build from what we have had previously. It looks like we got a good little connector up here with some controls. I'm interested to see how this all functions. So let's do our little walk around. We got a little ladder in here. Looks like it might not go to anything. I did see it raise, so I'm wondering if this all raises up and that ladder will be useful then. We have some recharge and refuel stuff here. Some lights and such. Oh, looks like we have a door back here. Oh, that's neat. So we'll actually go up in that because that looks pretty cool. We do have some more doors and such over here. Looks like about the same kind of stuff. A little bit more basic on the details. Alright, so it is moving a little bit. So let's go ahead and hop in this. We'll press the button. I love that little elevator. That's a cool little thing to add. We do have some cabinets back here. Let's actually go ahead and try and drive out of here. We'll come back and look at some of the stuff after. So let's see. We'll turn on our engine. We won't do any of that. We don't need lights. We can hear the engine going whenever we need it. So let's go ahead and try and get out of here without hitting these. There we go. A little bit of a tight squeeze, but it worked. Get those back wheels out as well. Alright, there we go. So let's go ahead and turn the engine off. Oh, why did I go backwards? Something broke. I'm not quite sure why I went backwards, so I'm gonna have to respawn. Alright, so we're here again. Whenever I press S, we go backwards. So it's pretty much just an electric motor. So that is a little bit difficult. I'm not quite sure if I have a parking brake or anything, but that is a good thing to add. I looked at the workshop page. I did not see anything about a parking brake. But yeah, so let's go ahead and try that out. So definitely a little bit of issues with that. That's just going to make it a little bit harder to control because I have to bring it down to 0. But we do stop. Well, actually roll a little bit still. So let's go ahead and turn on the stabilizer. Okay, so yeah, we go quite up. We won't turn sport mode on whenever it's on. Oh, we wobble a bit, so I'm wondering if there just has to be a little bit more tuning or something involved in that. But let's go ahead and try this off-road. I'm interested to see how this all works. Oh, wow. That works quite well. Look at that. We just float over everything. So it works quite well. We do get that little wibble wobble back and forth, left, right, left, right. It doesn't seem to be bad at all whenever we are actually off-road, but whenever we're on a straightaway, it tends to wobble a bit. So I'm not quite sure if just a little bit more tuning needs to happen on that or what. But I really love how this is designed. That's really neat. And it works quite well. Yeah, I really love that system. A lot of cool systems have been built for this challenge, which I really love. I love seeing how people kind of get over different problems and what they design. And this is very cool. This is very different as well. Nobody's done anything quite like this. It's a very different build, but it worked out quite well. So let's go ahead. I don't have brakes, so that is definitely an issue for me. We'll turn off the stabilizer, and let's try sport mode. We do also have lift, so we can manually lift up a little bit. So I'm guessing sport mode just kind of speeds us up a bit. So we still stabilize, which is pretty neat. So we'll turn sport mode off. We'll get, let's see, oh, we have wide. Oh, wow. So the whole entire thing just literally widens, so that's pretty neat. So I wonder if that's, yeah, so we're better now. We aren't tilting as much. It was wobbling left and right, so I just had to turn wide on and it fixed. So let's go and try this now. So that's really cool. So we'll go on up a hill. Yeah, so it always keeps our cab nice and level, which is really neat. And does a very good job of it as well. Look at that. There we go. Always staying on the ground as well. These big long legs, it's pretty easy to do, which is really cool. So I really enjoy the design of this. That's really new. That's really cool. So let's actually go back to a road. And let's check out some of the interior. Because I didn't get a chance to after we left because we don't have brakes, so I kind of have to get somewhere where I can't get destroyed or anything. We'll go up here. Let's see, we do have our lights. We have a nice little monitor there, and our fuel. We have main power, all of these buttons there. Definitely a little bit more basic in the helm and all of that. Nice monitor there, though. That looks really nice. So let's go ahead and try and come to a stop-ish here. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to be rolling no matter what. So let's go ahead and come on in. Definitely a little bit more basic on design and stuff on the inside. So let's see, what do we have there? Nice. We got a little room to microcontrollers and things like that. A couple of beds back here, right next to our engines. Let's see, bunch of microcontrollers here. So we can repair all of the stuff if we do get damaged, which hopefully we won't, but it is me. So we got our little med room. We got our little med room here. So we got a bunch of first aid kits and first aid beds. more equipment. This is that hatch that we came up before. We do have some rooms and such down here. Okay, we just have these doors out now, and those ladders line up perfectly now. So that's good thinking ahead. But yeah, so let's get up to the front again. And yeah, it's a really cool build. I love the suspension system and everything built into this. That's really cool. Did have a little bit of issues with the lack of brakes. That is something I would definitely suggest adding. So unless I'm just missing something somewhere. And a little bit more basic on the interior design and some decorations and things like that, just compared to the other ones that we have seen. But I really do love all the systems and stuff that is in this. So yeah, really great build, and thanks for submitting.